Good morning. Good morning, Maximize Your Zone community. Happy Thursday. It's almost Friday. Almost, not quite yet. Still have one more day to go. We'll get started in a few more minutes. If you are able to join me live, welcome. Let me know that you're here. Say hello, say good morning. And if you are joining the replay, make sure you tag someone to let them know to watch so that they can get their motivation maximized as well. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. Today's morning motivation is all about rushing, knowing when to rush and knowing when to slow down. Sometimes especially when we're doing the weekly goals, you think that you're thinking, oh my God, it's Thursday. I got to hurry up and get this done because my deadline is Friday or my deadline is Saturday. I got to rush this. The thing about when you rush is that you miss things. You miss opportunities and you miss lessons that you are supposed to learn in the journey. Remember a while back I said that when you are maximizing, when you are trying to get to your next level, all of the lessons and the things you need to learn and grow are in the journey. It's not always the destination that you learn from. So when you are rushing to get to that final deadline, your deadline is Friday at 5 o'clock. I have to be done with this. I have to check this off my list. If you're not close to getting that done, if you're halfway through, sit back and take stock and say to yourself, okay, I know realistically that I'm probably not going to be able to get this done. I know realistically that I have other things on my plate, and sometimes life happens that all of that can be wiped out, and I'm not going to get this done by Friday at 5 o'clock. If that's the case, then it's okay. You have to realize that your goals are on your timeline. It's not on anyone else's. So when you set hard, heavy deadlines on yourself, you have to make sure, hey, Tamara, you have to make sure that you're able to meet them. And if you're not, don't beat yourself up about it because it's the lessons that you're supposed to learn within the journey that makes all the difference. If you're rushing, you're going to miss that. You're going to miss those things, and you may have completed that task. You may have completed that cross off your list. But then let's just say 3 months down the line or 6 months later, you have to do the same thing again. You're not going to remember what you did to get there. You're not going to remember the steps that you took. You're not going to remember the people you may have contacted because that very first goal that you did, your only thing was, I got to rush to get this done. I had any means necessary. I got to rush to get this done. I don't care who does it, why they do it, how they do it, as long as it's done. If that's your mindset, then you're going to miss a lot of the lessons that you're supposed to learn along the way. So if you are rushing, slow down. Slow down. If it's too big of a goal for you to have for this week, break it up into tasks that you can get this done this week, that done next week, and the following week, etc. But don't rush. Don't rush because you're going to end up making mistakes. It's not going to be done correctly, and you'll miss the lessons. So in doing that, because when you do that because of that, it's not going to turn out right. The goal isn't going to be satisfying. It's not going to be something that you feel relieved about. It's not going to be something that you feel happy or accomplished about because you rushed through it. The best goals, when you check them off your list, are things that took time. Just imagine something that you had on your plate for, I don't know, how many years or however many months. And you worked on it, did a little bit here, did a little bit there, put it to the side, picked it back up, did a little bit. When you finally got it done and checked it off your list, how did you feel? Probably you felt relieved, happy, excited, accomplished. Oh my God, I could do this. This was so great. You sat back and thought about all the lessons you learned. You sat back and thought about all the hardship. You thought about the things that you overcame. You thought about the things that you never thought you knew. Hey, Heather, you thought about the things you never thought you knew. You thought about the people that you connected with. You thought about the friendships that grew from those connections. You thought about all of those things when you finally accomplished that long-standing goal that you had. When you have a goal that you rush through, yes, you accomplished it, but now you don't have anything to look back over. The only thing that you can say is, whew, I got that done. Check that off my list. But you can't go back and say, wow, this is what I learned from that. This is how I grew. This is how I was able to overcome that obstacle just by tackling this goal. This is how I was able to meet X amount of people just by accomplishing that goal. You can't do that when you rush through things because you miss. Just imagine, using my analogies, you are headed to an event and you don't exactly know where the event is. You have a MapQuest. The MapQuest is your to-do list for your goal. You have the MapQuest. You don't exactly know how to get there, but you're going to use this MapQuest to get to your event. Now, the event starts at 6 o'clock. The event starts at 6 o'clock, but that's a soft start time. The event is going to go on from 6 to 12. You can arrive anytime, but it starts at 6. But in your mind, you're thinking, I got to get there at 6 o'clock. I got to get there at 6 o'clock. I got to get there at 6 o'clock. That's the only thing you're thinking about. I got to get there at 6 o'clock. So you have your to-do list, your checklist of things you need to do to accomplish your goal. And you have your MapQuest to get to your destination. You're thinking, I got to get there by 6 o'clock. So as you're driving along, MapQuest takes you on a beautiful scenery. It takes you on a scenery of different businesses that you've never seen, people you've never seen, shops if you like to shop, different boutiques that you've never seen that you would love to stop at to kind of go in and visit, talk to the locals, different eateries. It takes you on a beautiful scenery. But instead of stopping, because your event doesn't have a hard stop time, your event doesn't have you have to get there by 6 o'clock or else. The event is from 6 to 12. You can arrive anytime. Because you're thinking, I got to get there at 6 o'clock, no matter what, you miss all of that stuff. You miss all of the locals. You miss all of the people stopping to give you directions, giving you shortcuts on how to help you to get to your destination quicker. You miss all of the eateries. You miss all of the different lessons that you learn from eating or trying different foods. You miss the things that you never knew you would have liked had you have stopped. You miss the opportunity to learn by rushing through. You take the MapQuest route. That 9 times out of 10 is the long route. They're going to take you all the way around the bend and all this other stuff, and you end up being late anyway. But had you had taken the time just to say, okay, wait, I'm not going to rush. I can get there at any time. The same people are going to be there. I can get there at any time. Let me just stop for a moment. Let me just stop and get something to drink. Let me just talk to people and ask them, have they been to this event before? Have they, ever experienced it? Is there a quicker way to get there? Same thing with your goals. You have your checklist, you have your to-do list, and you have everything that you need to do, that you've researched, and this is, what they say I need to do to get this done. But because you have your blinders on and you're rushing to get to that final destination, you're going all the way about the bend, making all types of mistakes. You're rushing food over stuff, and because you're rushing trying to get there, what I had to do is just stop, breathe for a moment, not rush, and say, you know what? Let me just ask someone, have they ever done this before? Can you give me some tips or some pointers to help me get to the right direction? Because you're going to get there because you're determined, you're committed to the process. You're going to get there, but it may not be in that time frame. And you want to do it right. You want to feel accomplished. You want to feel like, okay, yes, I got this. I can do this. You want to feel accomplished. You want to accomplish a goal learning things. You want to accomplish a goal learning things that you could take to your next level. If you rush, you can't get it. So today, on Thursday, I want you guys to think about where you are in your journey. Are you rushing through? Are you rushing so fast that you're trying to beat the next person? You're trying to beat the competition, that you truly haven't learned or mastered anything in your craft? You've learned the art of rushing? Or are you taking your time? Are you building upon the things that you've learned? Are you building your knowledge muscle? Are you building your skill muscle? Because that's how you accomplish a goal. I know I give you tips to tell you, do X, do this, but you have to realize that it's in your own time. It's not in my time. It's not in Susie's. It's not in Mary's. It's not in nobody's time but yours. So you have to make sure that you are defining for yourself your own timeline. And if it's going too fast, you have the right and you have the authority to slow it down and push it out so that you can learn from the journey. Okay. I think that was a good morning motivation. That was a good one today. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that after listening to this, you kind of take some time to say, hey, okay, I may not get this done this week, and that's okay. What did I learn this week? What did I learn from everything I've done so far? What did I learn that I can go into next week and progress further? And if you are rushing, I'm hoping that you take this to say, okay, I need to slow down. I may need to start over because I don't know how I got from A to E. I have no clue, no idea. All I know is that I woke up at A, and today is Thursday. I woke up at E. If that's the case, you're doing it all wrong. You're doing it all wrong. You may need to go back to A and figure out how you got to A. Figure out how you got to E, I mean. Write it down, map it out. But you need to know, because you missed some lessons. You missed some things that you were supposed to learn. Because you know what will happen? And now my mind is starting to think of all types of stuff now. You know what's going to happen? When you rush and you skip over stuff, you'll have to repeat things over and over again. Not by your own choice. Trust me, it's not by your choice. If you ever wonder why you find yourself in the same situations over and over and over and over and over again, if you ever wonder why you're thinking, gosh, I always end up with the same guys, or I always end up, owing somebody money, or I always end up in debt. If you're ever wondering why you keep repeating the same cycles over and over again, it's because you don't learn from the first situation. You didn't learn from the second one. You learned from the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth one. So you're going to continue repeating the same steps over and over again until you take the time to stop and say, okay, let me just get this. What am I doing wrong? What is it that I need to learn? Take responsibility. It's not anybody else's fault why you didn't get from A to E. It's not anyone else's fault why you can't find the right man. It's not anybody else's fault why you keep going into debt. It's not anyone else's fault why you get paid on Friday and by Saturday morning you're broke. It's no one's fault but yours. You can't blame anyone else because you can't accomplish your goals, because they are yours. You have to take stock and say, what am I doing? What am I doing right that I can continue on? And what am I doing wrong that I need to correct? And what lessons have I learned so far that will that will keep me from making the same mistakes over and over again? So if that's you, if you're rushing and you don't know how you got from A to E, stop. Don't do anything further. Scratch. Your goal has changed as of today. Your goal is to go back to A and figure out how you got there. Your goal is not to accomplish whatever you had on your checklist. That is no longer your goal. Your goal is to go back and say, okay, what lessons did I learn this week? How did it get from A to E? That's your new goal. Because what you need to do moving forward now is to learn what you just learned so that you can progress forward, so that you can finally move forward. If you are continuing to make the same mistakes, you're going to continue to be on a never-ending cycle, not go anywhere, get overwhelmed, get defeated, and then give up. Because that's what a lot of us do. That's what I've done. That's what I have done in the past until I learn that it's nobody's fault but mine. I need to figure out what I need to learn, what I'm doing wrong, so that I can correct myself. Because nobody else is going to do it but me. So look at where you are in your journey. If you're rushing, slow down and stop. Rethink things. And if you are going through this journey slowly, building upon your skills and building upon your knowledge, you're doing it the right way. So, ladies, have an awesome, awesome Thursday. Have a wonderful, great, productive day. And I will see you all in the group. Bye.